Hey guys, this is Austin and welcome to another video of, well, actually no, this is not Austin. This is Random Fandom. Welcome to another episode of Random Fandom, and today we're going to be finding out if the S5 Sport used from eBay is worth it in 2018. With the new announcement of the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus, some of you out there probably just can't afford that kind of thing for $900, or maybe you're wanting something older that just has some of the features that are just lacking in some of the newer phones, although the S9 doesn't really lack much. It still has the headphone jack and all, but well, actually, it does have a glass build. Maybe you want something more durable. So here it is. This is the Samsung Galaxy S5 Sport. I bought this one on eBay for about $60. So to show you guys the specs, I'll have the specs all pulled up right here. We got the Samsung Galaxy S5 Sport. This has a 5.1 inch 1080p display. It's an AMOLED display, so it looks pretty good. It's got very deep blacks and all. The camera can shoot 4K 30 frames per second. It's got 2 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 801. It's older specs, but it's still decent. This, you can consider this phone to be like a mid-range phone these days. This one, the latest version of Android you can get for it is Marshmallow. It is skinned with the stupid TouchWiz bloated skin that, well, that's what it is in my opinion. Some people like TouchWiz, but a lot of us, well, don't. It does have some useful features. Newer iterations of it had been cleaned up a little bit, so TouchWiz on this phone, it's not as bad, but it still sucks. It looks a lot, well, somewhat kind of like regular stock Android, but it doesn't. Color scheme is different and the layout is different a little bit. But this phone, with the Snapdragon 801, the 2 gigs of RAM, and Adreno 330, it runs fairly smooth. It is skinned, so with the Samsung TouchWiz skin, you don't see it on here. The screen is too bright. Now that's one thing about these used phones. If you got AMOLED, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this phone, it's got an issue with burn-in. You can see it flickering just a little bit there. When I turn it down, it's like unusable. So I have to keep it like more than the minimum. So that's basically like the minimum, and it's pretty bright. The screen on this phone, it gets very, very bright. As for getting very dark, well, if you don't mind, the burning look, it gets really dark. At least this one has, the burn-in. Maybe you would get lucky and maybe yours don't have burn-in if you buy one from eBay. But I only paid $60 for it, so it's not that big of a deal. The battery life on here, since this is used, I get about 2 hours of screen on time out of it, maybe a little longer, maybe 2.5. If I really, really push it and don't do a whole lot, I can maybe get 3, but I'm probably not going to get any more than that. And that is with, root and tweaks. And speaking of root, you can get some custom ROMs for it, but the development for this is it almost doesn't exist, since this is, a Sprint exclusive S5 Sport, and it's the sport model, it's not the regular one. A lot of people don't have this phone, so less development. So what you get is what you get. I mean, you can get Lineage OS 14 for it. It's got some bugs right now. It's still being worked on, hopefully, I guess. I mean, you can find it on XDA if you want it. As for the camera, it's pretty good. It takes great pictures. I mean, it's not the best of the best. As for battery, yeah, I just told you that. It kind of sucks for phones these days. At least this one's used though, so can't really give like a super accurate prediction there. But well, actually kind of though can though, because I mean, I doubt you'll find very many of these brand new. So onto the performance of the phone. I mean, it's pretty snappy. I mean, I've put a Nova launcher on it to help make things a little faster. I've tweaked it, you know, with things like L speed, you know, to help make things faster. You know, use, you know, things like kernel auditor. It can help make things, you know, maybe throttle less. Well, not really, since you can't get, you know, a custom kernel. What the kernel allows you to control is not a whole lot in this phone. So yeah, you're kind of stuck with that. So yep, L speed, just get that installed on there, you know, enable things, you know, like battery tweaks and all, and you can get a little more life out of it. You can also enable things for performance. But the performance of this phone, you can expect it to be like a mid-ranger. It's not a high-end phone anymore, but it doesn't feel like crap though. Like, navigating through the UI is smooth. Playing games on it, you can still do that. I mean, I'll pull up Riptide GP Renegade on here, and probably won't see it all that clear. I'll turn up the speaker so you can hear it. This is the max settings. They are not very loud. The Moto X speakers are much better than this. You'll see that in the video in the future. So we're about to start. I'm controlling backwards, so like if I crash or mess up, yeah. So I just crashed, but other than that, it looks great. And the sound, and with the speakers coming out the back, it sounds alright, but you can easily cover it up. So that is a negative. But a lot of phones don't have that great speakers. I mean, there's only a few phones that do have good speakers. I mean, the Moto X has good speakers, and I also hear that the Razr phone has good speakers too. I mean, they're both on the front, I mean, stereo speakers on the front. You know, you hear them nice and clear. This is just one mono speaker in the back with a little small hole. Yeah, I'll give you a speaker test in a little bit after, you know, our graphics settings. And Riptide GP Renegade, everything is set to high. You probably don't see that, so yeah. But it's set to high, it's not set to ultra. You can, I mean, some games you probably won't be able to play on here. But like games like Bullet Force, I mean, you can play it on here. Battlefield Combat 5, you can play it on here, but do expect some lag, and also expect to have to turn down some settings. Sorry about the face crop and the crappy camera. It's grainy, so like if you wanna see better quality videos, you could help by donating to my Patreon at patreon.com/RandomFandomOfficial, or you can donate to me with PayPal with my PayPal email, it's petermalark.mail@gmail.com. Peter Malark from like the Hunger Games, so yeah. So gaming on here, it's alright. I mean, you could do quite a bit better with a newer phone, but other than that, you get playable frame rates out of this phone, but perhaps with some lag spikes. I mean, Bullet Force with every update has gotten to be a bit laggier, so like it's becoming, in my opinion, to me, since I'm very competitive, I like to be on the top of the leaderboard. It's just that once in a while frame dip to 5 frames per second just doesn't cut it. But other games like Riptide GP Renegade, it works fine. I haven't played any of the new PUBG games yet, so I mean the new PUBG clones, I would have to say. So I don't know how those would go. Haven't played the new Battlefield clone either. I mean, I think that one is World War Heroes or something like that. Software wise, bloated. You may see some Sprint apps, but if you root this phone, you can get rid of a lot of it and help increase the 16 gigs of paltry storage on here. At least it's expandable with a micro SD card slot. So that's something a lot of newer phones don't have. This phone is water resistant, so you can like bring it to the lake, or as long as it don't go below, I think like 9 meters, you'll be alright. That is thanks to the seal inside the back cover and the covered charging port. This phone has a removable battery. So I'll turn this phone off. Now, with this phone, I don't know, but there might be some other variants with maybe a Snapdragon 805 and a little higher resolution screen. I don't know, but I don't think so. Not with this S5 though. I've heard that there is with the regular S5 though. This is a 2800 milliamp battery. It's not big by today's standards, but it's decentish. This phone has some things that you wouldn't find on a lot of the newer phones, like the headphone jack. It's got an IR blaster so you can control your TV. It's got heart rate monitors so you can measure your heart rate. It does take a SIM card, and it's unlockable only for international use. You can't unlock it to use it on different carriers inside the US. That sucks. So if you're one for unlocking, if you want to be able to use it inside the US on a different carrier than stupid Sprint, then well, guess what? You're screwed. But if you want to like take it overseas, maybe use it in China or whatever, you may be able to do that. As long as it uses the bands that they use there. I don't know what they use there, so I can't tell you. So overall, battery life, crap. Display, decent. Performance, decent. Camera, decent. I mean, overall, it's a decent phone, but the software leaves something to be lacking. It leaves something that it leaves some room to be desired. Since this is Marshmallow, and the developer support is crap. If you want to like put updates on it, newer Android, the possibility of you doing that is super slim. But other than that, it's a good phone. So overall, would I recommend it? Yes, if you're poor. If you have less than $100, then yes, go buy an older flagship like this one instead of buying a cheaper budget phone. Well, a lot of the cheaper budget phones, you're not going to get updates for it anyway. So like the Motorola E, you know, you may not get updates for it, and it may have lower performance than this one. I mean, depending on which one. I think the newest one that is about to come out, I think may do quite a bit better. But yeah, if you want fancy features, this is definitely a way to go. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and until next time, peace.